Focus!
The big thing they offers is their leadership. GC's one of only two players on our team that's played all 4 years, and he has gotten better every year. He's worked on his skill. His hands have really gotten so much better. Defensively, he struggled some with us in coverage, but he's working on it. He's getting better. He's a hard worker. So that leadership is big for us from him and from Bennett. Bennett's just a natural. He's just a natural-born leader. He's skilled. Guys like being around him. He's one of those guys that just make the people around him. He lifts everybody else's game. We're going to be as good as he can allow us to be. We're going to put a lot on his shoulders. If he comes through big, then we're going to have a successful year. And if he struggles, we're going to struggle. Jordan Sawyers, he's got to be a stud for us. He's really the only true running back that we have. He's not blazing fast, but, man, he's got great vision. He makes good cuts. He knows when to lower that shoulder and just get what you can get. And he's big and strong enough to where that first guy normally is going to have a tough time with him. It's going to require more than one guy to get him down. Holden is someone who we like his speed, but he's not very big. He plays like he's bigger than what he actually is, which is a good thing. But he's not that guy who I think we can turn around and give it to him 20 times a game. But he is a guy who I think we can give it to 5-6 times a game, and he can be a spark for us. Butner is really someone who's a receiver, and we're just trying to pitch it out to him a few times, give him out on the perimeter, and see if we can take advantage of his elusiveness. Like I say, really the only pure running back we got is Sawyers. He enjoys catching the ball, and we're going to throw it to him quite a bit. He for us, can create some mismatch problems we think for other teams, not because of his speed, but because he does have such good hands. He can bring it in, and he wants to be our go-to receiver. That's a good thing. He's good at it. He wants it, and we're going to give him the opportunity. Nick is the other young man that we have that's played all 4 years, just two, GC and Nick. Nick is just one of those guys that, man, he gives you everything he's got. You wish a lot of times that you could take his heart and his determination and put him in other people's bodies. Not that his body's bad. He really is. He's one of the fastest kids we got as a defensive line and offensive lineman. He's a super athlete. He's going to provide us a lot of leadership on the line and throughout the whole team. Shrews is just, he's got what I call farm boy strength, Weight room, he may not shine, but if you need, he can throw that bale of hay, man. And that pays off in football, If he gets his hands on you, you're in trouble. And he really is excited about playing football. His motor's always going. He loves hitting people. We need his intensity to spread throughout our team. I think that's probably a bigger question mark for us than our offense. We have two defensive linemen, Shrews and Nick, and then we got one linebacker returning, and that's going to be Stanley. But Stanley last year was a defensive back. And then on our secondary, we only got one guy, and that's GC. We are scarce with experience on the defensive side of the field, and we're going to be expecting a lot from some sophomores. Sawyers, Holden. We're experienced. We're going to be hoping for some 10th graders to step up and play big roles. We'll have Jordan Sawyers right now, Stanley, and probably Shrewsbury. He was a defensive lineman last year, and he was an all-conference player. Right now, we are tinkering with moving him to linebacker. GC is going to start. We think Tyler Holden's going to be able to start for us at safety. We're needing those guys at safety to be linebackers for us. At corner, we like Tyler Johnson. Like I say, he's inexperienced. The question mark with him is how good of a tackler is he going to be? Is he going to be that aggressive tackler that I like for our corners to be? I think he can cover. I don't have a problem with that at all. We just got to wait and see how the scrimmage goes as far as the contact and the hitting. And then at the other corner right now, it's Cameron Butner. Last year, we started a freshman kicker, Alex Torres. His first kick of the year against North Surrey, I think he kicked like 45, 47-yarder. His very first attempt. Then he was a little sporadic for us throughout the year, but he's a freshman, or he was, and he's got a strong leg, and hopefully with a year of his experience underneath his belt, he's going to be more consistent, more accurate for us, and he's just going to get better. He's got a lot of potential ahead of him. Punting, it's up in the air. We think right now it's Matthew Stanley, but we do like Cody Shrewsbury. He's our long snapper.
I got a young quarterback that rotated in at varsity last year as a sophomore, so that's L.J. Hendren. He's actually a junior. One of the more talented quarterbacks that I've coached over the years. I've had some good quarterbacks, but L.J. he's a versatile player that can run. He can run the ball. He's a threat to run it. He's a very smart kid, got a good arm, so we're going to be able to throw. And a very reliable kid that a coach, when they're calling the plays, can count on him to make the right decision and stuff. So I'm fortunate to have him to be our leader for the next couple of years, and hopefully he'll be healthy, and that's the key for us to be successful. We're a little short in running backs. We have 3 fullbacks. Randy Pruitt will be a senior, Devin Roberts, and Jordan Grimes is a sophomore that we've pulled up that will be carrying the duties at fullback. Also, we got Justin Patterson. We've also brought a sophomore running back, Dustin Adams, up. We've got a athletes type person that you'll see sometimes running the football, and Josh Martin. Sometimes you'll see him at wide out, sometimes you'll see him at running back, but that's our core of running backs. Perimeter, sometimes you'll see Martin out at the wide out, Josh Martin. Sometimes you'll see Garrett Bailey or Troy Behrens also rotating in at the wide out. Sometimes we may, with a quarterback that we can throw, you may see Garrett, Behrens, and Martin all in at the same time. Our center will be Grant Wiles, which is a junior. We have 2 guards right now that are battling it out. Jacob Owens, Jacob Prestopino, and we also got a couple other guards that we've got really good depth there. So on defense we can rotate some, J.J. Johnson and Luke Johnson. Our tackles will be Dakota Bell, Robbie Roten, and Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson, we've got a good group of kids with a lot of depth on the offensive line. I guess that's their biggest plus, is more depth there. Defensive line, you're talking about the same group of kids that we talked offensively. Nose guard, Jacob Owens, Dakota Bell. Chris Johnson can play defensive end or tackle. Robbie Roten, and then like I mentioned, Grant Wiles, Luke Johnson, Jacob Prestopino, all those guys is going to be rotating. So it's going to be a 6 or 7 man rotation to stay fresh on offense and defense, and that's a big plus for us. Outside linebackers will probably be Josh Bear. Devin Roberts can play inside or outside. Dustin Adams and Nick Barciani will also play some outside linebacker. 3 inside linebackers. Devin Roberts can go in there. Randy Pruitt's a returning senior. And also Jordan Grimes is a sophomore that we feel like is one of our better linebackers that's going to play up this year. L.J. Hendren, our quarterback, sometimes you'll see him in the secondary along with Josh Martin and Justin Patterson. Troy Behrens and Garrett Bailey sometimes will rotate in. Nick Barciani, depending on if it's a spread team or a run team, he can play in at safety also. LJ, our quarterback, can kick and can punt. Jeffrey Diaz is a kicker and a punter. Juan Benitez is a soccer player that's been coming over and doing the kicking duties this year that probably will do our kickoff and stuff, so he's got a pretty strong leg. Our first 3 ball games, we got to develop. We got to bond as a team, work together as a team, and we've got to change the image that we've had here. First 3 ball games are very, very key for us to be successful. The more wins that we can get early, the more, I guess you would say, our self-esteem and confidence will build, and then you never know what might happen from there. So we've got to keep our heads up and help them to buy into what we're selling. And I think a lot of them have bought in and can already tell a change. So we are really keying on those first 3 ball games. We got to believe in ourselves and believe what the coaches are coaching them up, buy into our system, and believe that what we're doing is the right thing. You know, there's going to be valleys, and we're going to get in a valley somewhere, but football season is a long season, and we got to deal with injuries, and we got to fill in, and we got to keep going, because you know the season ain't counted on one win loss. It's a whole season, so we've got to keep our head up and play hard no matter what happens.